There is a moment in Star Wars, one so brief, so quiet, that most fans never realized what they were witnessing. A moment when Darth Vader's mask split, when the machine hissed, when the man beneath was exposed. And for the first time in decades, the galaxy glimpsed the God hiding underneath the metal. This script is not about the warrior, not about the Sith Lord, not even about Anakin Skywalker. This is about the entity that lived between them, a cosmic being formed through pain, prophecy, and destiny, a being neither Jedi nor Sith truly understood. Tonight, we peel apart the fragments of the fractured mask and reveal the true God that existed within Vader, a God the Force tried to shape, and the galaxy tried to forget. The mask, the myth, the monster. When you imagine Vader, you see the mask, the black armor, the cold breathing, the symbol of fear. But what if the mask wasn't meant to hide a man, but to contain something far greater? What if the armor wasn't a prison, but a seal? Like ancient myths warn, when gods fall, you bind them in chains. When titans rise, you bury them under mountains. When beings grow too powerful for the world, you lock them behind masks. Vader wasn't the Emperor's servant. He wasn't just a fallen Jedi. He was a cosmic force, too powerful to exist unrestrained. A celestial storm compressed into a single, shattered soul. The question isn't why did Anakin fall, or what made Darth Vader terrifying. The question is, what was waking inside him that the mask was trying to control? Theory 1. The mask as a containment seal. First theory claims the mask was never simply life support equipment. It was a binding device, designed by the Emperor with ancient Sith knowledge. The armor restrained his power, controlled his emotions, limited his connection to the Force, trapped his mind in darkness, bound him to the Emperor's will. But here is the terrifying part. Even bound, limited, broken, Vader was still one of the strongest Force users in galactic history. Imagine what he would have become if the mask never existed. Imagine a being whose emotions could crack starships, whose grief could distort the Force itself, whose anger could rupture reality, and whose love, once awakened, could rewrite destiny. The armor wasn't a prison. It was a warning. Theory 2. The God hidden in the wound. Every myth speaks of a birth through suffering. Hercules through Furious Iris, through death, Phoenix through Ashtra-Sanakin, through prophesied Vader. Vader was born through destruction. His body shattered. His spirit collapsed. His identity burned away. And in the center of that trauma, something ancient awoke. The Emperor believed he created Vader. He believed he shaped a weapon. He believed he forged a monster. But Palpatine was blind to the truth. He didn't create Vader. He triggered him. The flames of Mustafar didn't kill Anakin. They forged the God inside him, a Force entity born from unfulfilled prophesying limited potential. Cosmic imbalance had her destiny. The God in Vader was not one of light or dark. It was something deeper, a living embodiment of the Force's will. And the mask was the only thing stopping it from fully awakening. Theory 3. The shattered mask revealed the true facet. There are 3 moments in canon when Vader's mask cracks. Against Ahsoka, against Obi-Wan, during his final moments with Luke. Each time, something strange happens. His voice shifts between Vader and Anakin. His breathing changes. His eyes flicker with different colors. His aura trembles. His emotions surge. His power spikes unpredictably. Many theorists believe this is not simply emotional conflict. It is the God inside him leaking through the weak spots in the armor. You're not watching a man struggle. You're watching a cosmic entity trying to escape its prison. When Ahsoka breaks the mask, the Force reacts violently. When Obi-Wan fractures it, the air distorts. When Luke sees the man beneath, destiny itself rewrites. The mask wasn't hiding Anakin. It was holding back the Force Titan sleeping beneath. Theory 4. Vader as the half-woken chosen one. Prophecy never said Anakin would be a hero. It never said he would be a villain. It never said he would be human. The prophecy said, a being born of no father, balance between light and darkness, shall bring balance to the Force. Not a Jedi, not a Sith. A being, a Force construct in flesh. Anakin was never meant to remain mortal. He was meant to evolve, to awaken, ascend, and become something the galaxy had no words for. But the suit froze him in a half-awake state. He became not fully Anakin, not fully Vader, not fully the Chosen One. He became a sleeping god, trapped inside a metal tomb. The shattered mask moments weren't emotional breakdowns. They were cosmic awakenings, like a star heating before it explodes, like a god inhaling before it returns. Vader was the prophecy interrupted. Theory 5. The Emperor's greatest fear. Palpatine feared one thing, not Anakin, not the Jedi, not rebellion. He feared the entity inside Vader. Why? Because even Sidious did not understand it. He sensed something enormous, ancient, and uncontrollable, a power so vast it could erase the Sith, restore balance, collapse the dark side, destroy destiny itself. This is why he kept Vader crippled, kept him armored, kept him contained, not to preserve him, but to prevent the awakening of the god beneath the mask. If the mask ever fully opened, if the armor ever entirely shattered, if Anakin ever truly returned, the Emperor would have met not a fallen apprentice, but a celestial force he could never hope to command. Theory 6. The god of emotion. Force reacts to emotion. Every Jedi knows this. Every Sith weaponizes this. But for one being, emotion didn't simply influence the Force. It reshaped it. That being was Anakin Skywalker. That being became Darth Vader. That being carried the potential of a god of emotion. Most Jedi feel the Force around them. Most Sith bend it to their will. But Vader, he generated waves in the Force just by feeling. His anger caused tremors felt across star systems. His grief dampened the living Force into silence. His hatred distorted the balance between light and dark. No other mortal being, not even Yoda or Sidious, produced such raw psychic gravity. This theory claims Vader's emotions weren't human emotions at all. They were cosmic impulses, magnified by prophecy and trauma. Emotions that the Force itself couldn't ignore. And because his mask and suit restricted his physical form, all that intensity went inward, condensing like a star preparing to go supernova. Had the mask shattered completely, those emotions would have escaped. And for a moment, just a single moment, the galaxy would have faced the awakening of a god. Theory 7. The cosmic vision. Vader could not unsee there a moment in the comics where Vader enters a portal and sees something forbidden, something the Emperor never intended him to understand. Through this vision, Vader glimpsed the beginning of the Force, ghosts of the future, the infinite cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Force choosing him, reshaping him. Truth that Anakin and Vader were not separate beings, but phases of a cosmic metamorphosis. Saw the Force as a living organism and himself as its evolutionary keystone. This theory claims that after seeing such a cosmic vision, Vader was never the same. His mask did not hide his fear, it hid his knowledge. Because once he understood what he truly was, the armor became not a prison, but a barrier between him and the galaxy he could accidentally destroy. Vader did not fear the Emperor. He feared what he was becoming. Not a man, not a monster, a cosmic inevitability. Theory 8. A Vader as the living Force wound. In Star Wars lore, a Force wound is a scar left when something catastrophic tears through the fabric of the Force. Malach or nihilus. Other ancient horrors. But there is a darker possibility. What if the greatest wound ever created was Anakin Skywalker? Think about it. Born from prophecy, no father, and matched potential, served death, endured unimaginable trauma. Force wound doesn't just happen from destruction. It happens when the Force cannot process what has occurred. The death of Anakin and the birth of Vader was such an event. This theory claims Vader himself became a walking anomaly, a living scar that the Force simultaneously punished and empowered. His presence muted the Force, his rage awakened it, his grief bent its pathways. His existence created a gravitational imbalance that pulled destinies toward him like a black hole. The mask was not for breathing. It was for regulating the unbearable pressure of a being who should not have been able to exist. Vader wasn't corrupted. He was broken in a way the Force had never seen before. Theory 9. The dual soul paradox. Some scholars claim Vader suffered a psychological split. Others claim he was two people, Anakin and Vader. But what if both theories are wrong? What if Vader's soul was not divided, but duplicated, a paradox born from trauma and prophecy? One soul of light Anakin, one soul of darkness Vader. Coexisting layered merging and separating like cosmic tides. This theory explains why his voice changes when the mask cracks, why his eyes shift color, why his power fluctuates, why he cannot fully commit to light or dark. He is unpredictable even to the Emperor. When Ahsoka breaks the mask, the Anakin soul bleeds through. When Obi-Wan fractures it, the Vader soul roars in agony. When Luke removes it entirely, the two souls reunite, completing a cosmic cycle decades in the making. The shattered mask wasn't symbolic. It was literal. The mask breaking represented the collapse of the dual soul paradox, allowing the true being, the godlike chosen one, to emerge in the final moments of his life. Theory 10. The hidden form of the chosen on prophecies are always misunderstood. They are never literal, and so many fans assume chosen one simply means powerful Jedi. But ancient Force texts describe the chosen one differently, a being whose form will be reshaped by destiny, whose face will be known by many, but whose true self will be hidden, a mortal shell containing a celestial fire. This theory claims that Vader's true form was not the armored body, nor Anakin's flesh, nor the fractured mask. His true form was something the galaxy never saw, a being of pure Force light, pure potential, pure cosmic energy, trapped inside a ruined vessel, a god hiding inside broken metal, a celestial being forced to wear a mask because his true face would overwhelm the living Force itself. The final tragedy of Anakin Skywalker is not that he fell, but that the galaxy never witnessed the true form of the being they feared. The mask hid the god. The armor suppressed the ascension. The Emperor bound the prophecy. But the moment the mask shattered, even briefly, the truth leaked through. The shattered mask wasn't showing Anakin. It wasn't revealing Vader. It was showing the god waking inside the Force's chosen vessel. Theory 11. Vader's mask was a seal to contain the god within. Look closely at the mask. It is not just a respirator, not just armor, not just fear. It is a prison, a technological binding, a modern sarcophagus. The Emperor wasn't preserving Vader's life, he was sealing away something he feared, the Black Star entity. Sidious sensed it during Vader's reconstruction. He saw it in the broken eyes of the dying Skywalker. He felt the universe shaking around the operating table. He knew this was no apprentice. No student. He was rebuilding a cosmic anomaly. So the mask became a limiter, a cage, a device that numbed Vader's mind, drowned his emotions, and muted the deeper entity. The Emperor didn't save Vader. He contained him. Theory 12. Vader's suit turned him into a living ritual. Most believe the suit tortures Vader to keep him obedient. But there is another, darker reason. The pain kept him anchored to the mortal plane. The Black Star inside him was constantly trying to expand, to burn through the flesh, to break through the armor, to manifest as pure cosmic force. The agony is what kept the cracks sealed. Every spark of electricity in his suit, every neurochemical imbalance, every breath that rasped like tearing metal was part of an ongoing ritual. A ritual whose purpose was simple: keep the god asleep. Theory 13. Vader's power wasn't growing, it was awakening. The galaxy believed Vader grew stronger over time, but that is not accurate. He wasn't learning. He wasn't evolving. He wasn't even mastering the Force. He was remembering. Each year, each scar, each battle cracked the mask a little more. Woke the Black Star a little further. Every Jedi he hunted, every rebellion he crushed, every nightmare he endured pulled the cosmic entity inside him closer to the surface. Vader wasn't rising, he was returning. Theory 14. The Force did not fear Vader. It feared what wore his skin. This is the most dangerous theory. The Jedi believed the Force is balance. Harmony. Purpose. Yet every time Vader stepped into a room, the Force recoiled, not in fear of the man, but the entity inside him. The Black Star was not chaos. It was the absence of balance, a force neither dark nor light, a remnant from before the Jedi, before the Sith, before the Force divided itself into two. An echo from the era when the Force was one infinite ocean, not two warring tides, The black star inside Vader was a memory of that primordial state, and the Force could not predict it. Could not control it. Could not comprehend it. So it hid. It dimmed. It flinched. Theory 15. Vader's destiny was never to serve, but to consume. Ancient Sith prophecy, Lost to Time, spoke of the devourer of halos, the one who ends the cycle, a being who would consume the old galaxy and shape a new one from the ashes. Sidious believed he was this figure, but the markings in the prophecy, the timelines, the descriptions, all point to Vader. The prophecy described a being forged in fire, clad in darkness, whose suffering would birth a star that devours fate. A being who would shatter the false dichotomy of Jedi and Sith and return the Force to its original form. This was never the Emperor's plan. It was Vader's purpose. Not to rule, not to balance, but to reset. The mask cracks further, and so here we stand, deep inside the heart of the Black Star, watching a god stir, a cosmic entity trapped in scorched flesh, held down by a symphony of pain, bound by a mask forged to restrain creation itself. And with each breath, each mechanical growl, each trembling step, the shattered mask weakens. Something ancient presses against the cracks. Something Vader himself doesn't fully understand. But soon, we will. Because in the next chapter, there are moments in galactic history that cannot be explained by records, or diaries, or surviving witnesses. Moments where the very fabric of the Force trembled, as if trying to hide something it could not bear to reveal. And one of those moments was the day the god inside Vader opened its eyes for the first time. This was not during a duel, not during a war, not even during a victory. It happened in complete silence. Theory 16. The awakening began in a single breath. Force does not lie. All awakened entities begin with a surge, a quake, a flare, a blinding pulse of power. But Vader's awakening began with a breath, a single mechanical exhale, deeper and heavier and far more ancient than anything his artificial lungs could produce. It vibrated through the air like the groan of a dying star. And for a moment, just a moment, Vader's shadow on the wall moved on its own, not following him, not mirroring him. Acting with a bewildering dark earth in the body that cast it. The Black Star had begun to stir. Theory 17. Vader experienced a vision not meant for mortals. Some visions are given, some visions are shown. But this vision was neither. It was a memory. A memory from the Force before it split, before light and dark began their eternal war. Vader saw a single boundless ocean of energy, a horizonless expanse of power, a universe where the Force was not light, not dark, not divided, but whole. And in that ocean, Vader saw a figure. Tall. Silent. Formless. Burning like a stare, yet shaped like a man. The figure turned. And Vader realized he was not watching another entity. He was watching himself before creation broke into two sides. The Black Star was not foreign. It was ancestral. Something his soul had once been, and now was becoming again. Theory 18. Vader momentarily existed outside time during the awakening. Imperial sensors recorded something impossible. For exactly 0.7 seconds, Darth Vader's physical presence vanished. Not cloaked. Not telepo or TED. Not concealed. Vanished. As if he had never stood there at all. Jedi scholars would later call this phenomenon chronal distortion via Force overload. But the older name, the one found in ancient Force writings, was far more fitting. The moment of the unmasked, according to forgotten Force texts, when a godlike entity begins resurfacing within a mortal shell. The being's true self briefly occupies its original place outside of time, meaning that for a fraction of a second, Vader stood in a plane beyond past and future, a place where the Force is still one, where the Black Star never fell, where the god never forgot its name. Theory 19. The Force tried to seal the entity again, and failed when Vader returned to normal space. A violent pressure wave pulsed through the Force. Every Force-sensitive being across every system felt it. Some heard whispers, some felt chills, some collapsed to their knees. A few even reported a vision of a cracked mask, glowing with a star-like light behind its fractures. but the most chilling detail. For a moment, the Force itself tried to suppress the entity, tried to push it down, tried to force the Black Star back into the cage of flesh and pain where it had slept for decades. But it could not. The awakening had begun, and nothing, not destiny, not prophecy, not the Force itself, could reverse it. Theory 20. This was the true beginning of Vader's final evolution. The galaxy believes Vader's transformation finished on Mustafar, but the transformation didn't end there. It started there. Mustafar forged the armor, the Emperor forged the prison, the Rage forged the identity, but the God inside him waited. Until this moment, until this awakening. Until this second birth in the shadows of his own mind. This was the moment when Darth Vader stopped being a man in a suit and became a cosmic entity wearing a man wearing a suit, a god wearing a ghost wearing a machine. And the cracks in the mask were no longer flaws, they were escape routes.